Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lassiz or Drew. I am the captain of Team Dignitas on Smite. I'm here to tell you a little about the team and what we do and what our goals are. I'll start with myself. I am, like I said, I'm the captain, Team Dig, but everybody has their roles on the team. Granted, I may have the title. It doesn't necessarily mean I put in the most work. Everybody on the team puts in an equal amount of work. Everyone has their specific roles and what they contribute to the team. Um, I myself, I try to be somewhat of the PR guy. I try to be the face of the team, and I contribute setting up practices, get things going, and try to be the motivation, behind the team. Uh, I have also Zapman. I have Anatoly. I have Shadowq and the best. Um, like I said, I'm going to start with myself. I started playing Smite actually while I was working at the hospital. I worked at the hospital part time, only on weekends. I tried to become a streamer, and I really enjoyed streaming. I loved it so much, and I would stream just nonstop. I loved playing in front of people. I loved the game of Smite itself, and eventually I took a step and I risked quitting my job at the hospital because I was doing school at the same time. And I quit the hospital to become a full-time streamer, hoping I would succeed. I was lucky enough to. Soon I became a competitive player. I really enjoyed the game so much, and I wanted to make it a job of mine. I I used to play ball. I used to play baseball back when. I didn't play anything too high level. I just played a lot of independent leagues. I played a couple colleges, but I ended up dropping out, so I really don't have anything there. But just after I quit ball and I got hurt, I tore my labrums, and I decided I wanted to play video games. And so since I found out I could do it for a living, or possibly, I busted my butt, and here I am now. Uh, what my role is on the team, by the way, I am the jungler. I am the jungler. I'm pretty much keeping presence all around the map. I'm very aggressive. I have a very aggressive play style. I try to force something to happen. I try to outplay the other player. I like to think I'm one of the top mechanical players. I'm sorry, in the scene, and I get by with a lot on that. I'm going to follow up with Zapman. He is a big part of the team. Everybody's a big part of the team, but Zapman, he's one of my favorite people. He uh, he pretty much has the leader role on the field. He makes the big calls. He loves to play aggressive. He loves to make things happen, and in doing so, we succeed a lot. We listen, and we're always on the same page. He's certainly a blessing in the community. One of the best players, hands down. It's if not the best player. Sorry to say, I pardon my biased opinion, but that man's one of my best pals, and like I said, a very valued teammate. And he also strategizes. He watches VODs all the time. He comes up with strategies. Just always given to the team and making sure we're always up to par. If he and or the team are not playing at their top level, something's wrong. Next, I'm going to follow up with Anatoly. Anatoly, I've probably been actually with the longest on the team. He and I have been playing since we were on Juice back when it was not really a big name, but it was a team nonetheless. He and I have been playing for a while, and Anatoly has probably come further than anybody when it comes to this game. He he started off as a fine player, but he was overthinking. He didn't react enough. He always tried to overanalyze things. He was trying to think too much while playing instead of reacting and letting his natural talent take over. Anatoly plays um, what rule is that? He plays our side lane tank, basically our bruiser, our solo lane. He is just a wonderful human being, one of the most positive people we have on our teams. He busts his butt all the time, constantly watching VODs, thinking of strategies, coming up with ways to constantly change his gameplay for the better. Um, he's remarkably improved to be easily one of the best solo laners I've seen. And as I said, just a wonderful human being. It's a pleasure to even be on the same team with him. I mean, kind of go back a little. I don't know if I even said Zapman's role. I'm kind of backtracking here. Zapman is actually our AD carry, usually playing ranged in the side lane. And as I said, just phenomenal. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of everybody on this team. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not trying to just suck up to a couple guys here, but I'm a huge fan of everybody. There's not one person on this team I don't love and don't appreciate, and they belong here, and they'd certainly show it and prove it. Uh, Next on the team, I would like to introduce Shadow Q. Shadow Q is actually one of our newest members. Shadow Q is our most recent and new member. Um, he's he's a young kid, super smart, if not the smartest person on our team, along with Anatoly. He always theory crafts. This guy, I mean, spreadsheets, whatever the case may be. I mean, he's all about the math and coming up with the wonky plays and wonky strats, and he contributes so much to the team. He sets up scrims for us when we're lacking practice. Um, just he supports Zapman actually in his lane. He's a support player, and his knowledge of the game, presence, and the ability to keep people in check and keep people upbeat and happy and positive within the match, even if we're down. Um, he does a tremendous job and keeps us all up. He keeps he actually he's the guy who keeps Zapman in check. Zapman is our probably biggest rager. Great guy, as I said, but man, he's very passionate about what he does, as we all are. But he tends to show it the most. Shadow Q keeps him in check a little bit. Um, Shadow Q, as I said, plays the support roles. Helps out just tremendously. Everybody has a role on the team, as I said. Next up will be the best. The best is our actual youngest member of the team. He's actually 17, and he plays our middle lane. Um, what does best contribute to the team? Actually, he contributes a lot more than what people think. Uh, he's not the most vocal guy on the team. We've been trying to help him adapt and turn into a more vocal person on the team, and there's not one thing we don't love about him, except sometimes he does go quiet in a match, and it can cost a death or whatnot. The reason I love Best so much, one, I think he's the best mid player that I've seen in the game. Once again, I sound a little biased because it's my own team I'm talking up here, but at the same time, I respect everybody on the team, and I think they're the best role in almost every spot, in the game. Best is the thing I love most about Best. He doesn't second guess. If I'm coming to gank, or Zapman's coming to gank, or anybody's coming to make a call, he goes in. He trusts the call, whether it was the wrong call or the right call. He goes in, no questions asked. He does what he's told, and he lands everything. Mechanical, smart player. He's just a wonderful part of the team. Outside of that, he doesn't really he doesn't do too much to contribute. Outside, he's a very quiet one, like I said, but we're trying to get him out of his shell a little bit. As far as the team, how we got together, I used to play with the team called Reason Gaming back when the game first came out. That was one of the bigger teams, and all these teams started to form. Eventually, I left RG, and I would join Juice Gaming, which is where I met Anatoly. I also met Shing and Ally and a couple other guys from the scene who are very, very good players. And, I miss those guys a lot too, because I used to play with them. And I always like to give Ally a shout out personally, because if it wasn't for him, I'd probably still wouldn't be playing the game or have nearly as much knowledge as I do now. And he was certainly a blessing in disguise. Let's see. Part of Zapman's gone through a ton of roster changes. As I said, Zapman's pretty much the time bomb on our team. He always had the temper. However, we're trying to keep him in check, and he's doing so well. And man, I'm making it seem like he has a problem, but he's like I said, he's just very passionate, and he's gone through probably the most roster changes of anybody in the scene. He played for Curse Gaming along with Shadow Q and the Best. He eventually quit Curse due to some personal conflicts with the team, and we tried to actually get him on our team. Um, I can't take credit for getting him on the team, but we got him on the team, and eventually it was myself, Anatoly, and Zatman, and it was Matty Pocket and Shing and Allied, and Anatoly was actually our sub at the time, and so we had Shing and Allied, Zatman and Matty, and myself. Eventually, Shing and Allied parted ways, and they went to make their own team, and they just have a great squad. Uh, Now, that is actually when Anatoly got moved back into the main slot, and eventually we got Best. The Best was kind of recruited. And once again, I can't take credit for that either. It was by two other gentlemen who I won't name. And eventually we had a team of myself, Anatoly, Zatman. Did I say Best? Well, anyway, Best and Matty. Um, we had some unfortunate events occur within the team, and it's never pleasant. But we did have to make some roster changes, and eventually we came in with the final roster, which was myself. I actually, I've been swapped all over the place. I started off mid lane, had over 2,000 games played. It got moved to AD carry in the side lane. Once we got Best on the team, or I'm sorry, actually, I got moved back to middle after another roster change. And then once we got Best back on the team, I moved to the jungle role, or the roamer. And I've just been all over the place. I like to think I have pretty good knowledge of the game now, especially playing all these roles. And so that's actually how I got to where I am now. And that being the current roster is myself, Anatoly, Zatman, Shadowq, and the Best. And I couldn't be happier. These guys are my best friends. They are the best teammates I could ask for. There's not one person that doesn't put in just as much work as the next guy. It's a pleasure to play with these guys. It's an honor to even play for Team Dignitas. I'm overwhelmed that they even moved into Smite. Um, it was pretty big. I never saw this coming. Like I said, I just wanted to stream. I just wanted to have a good time, and eventually I became competitive, and all this just happened. And we hope to keep growing. We love to help the community in any way we can. We bust our butts always. We're always on. We're always scrimming. We're always trying to come up with new strategies, trying to form new metas for the game or whatever the case. So just wanted to say thank you all for watching my little tidbit here, a little introduction of our team. It's always a pleasure to. I like being in front of the camera, by the way. That's why I love doing the PR stuff. So, personal thank you to Odie, by the way. He, to make this possible, and obviously David from Alienware. We're very grateful. And once again, I'd like to thank and really show my appreciation to my team because without them, we wouldn't even be here now, and I wouldn't have nearly this much passion for the game and what I love doing. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very good day. Thank you guys.